All right, and we are back from the break. I have taken care of tokens. For those who are viewing the stream, the party is right here at this point. And that's where I'm moving the down shaft, just because I realized that the other position introduced some extra hurdles that I didn't think about when I did it. All right, so yeah, so you guys are at an intersection of vents. So you can go north, west, southeast, and you can see faint light coming from each of the directions. So you're not in complete pitch darkness.
Did Finn ever mention which direction he went?
Um, So you'll need to explore a bit more to be able to figure out where exactly he went, because he described the rooms
Well,
that he went into, but event is event.
well, let's just then choose, for example, on north.
Leva would have gone down there too.
All right.
North is good.
Well, going as a group, you're both conveying to me, I guess.
We just pull you along.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys start heading to the north from that point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After a few tens of feet, you can see that there is a grate leading down into a large room.
What do we see in that room?
So you're gonna get up to the exit portion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So looking down, you can see that there are crates and barrels beneath you, and it appears to be a fairly large room.
The grate is about similar size that
Yeah.
the heated grate was.
Yeah.
Does that look like food storage crates I mentally say to Lever?
Yes, it does. And it does look like how Finn described it. It's not well lit either.
It's probably a closed room.
So it does sound it does from where you are without going in. It does look like a large room that Finn described.
Is this the furthest extent we can go north?
Yes.
Well, since I don't think we fit through the grate, we have to go to
You can
other
fit through the
direction.
grate. You can fit through the grate.
Oh, we can.
Yeah, we can take different forms to go through the grate.
But do we want to go through the grate if this is what Finn described?
Well, we're flying. We can go down, and if we see that it's known, then we can go back up.
Yeah, but we are on time limit.
We could just pop our
That
heads through
doesn't
and go
that
back
doesn't
up.
cost more than a minute or two.
I mean, like, what do you want to do up here? You've confirmed that it's one of the rooms that Finn
How
described.
many doors lead into this room?
So from his description, there was stairs up, and then there was a passageway out of the north end of the room that leads to a curved corridor that had the trapdoors in the floor.
I think we should check one of the other routes.
Yes, agreed.
Alright.
If Finn was here, then we want another route. We want to see.
Alright, we go back, I guess.
Okay, so based on that, your bearings are now that you get back to the intersection, and you do not believe that Finn went to the west from that intersection.
Let's check the west.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you head to the west, and there is another ventilation shaft at the end of or another grate at the end of the shaft, leading into a large room. Glancing in, you can see in the northwestern portion of the room from where you are. You can't see the entire room, because you're just like looking down right now. You can see a slab and there's a body on it. You can see a table to the east that is covered in books and scrolls, mortar and pestle, various open jars, and you can hear two people talking beyond your vision.
Do we hear what they say?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can.
Is the
Hear
body
noise.
alive?
No, it's a body. It's a corpse.
It's a dead corpse.
It's a corpse.
Cadaver.
Somebody should have borrowed Braxon's ring.
Oh, it's just a modern language proficiency check, but I already failed, so I assume that's indefinite.
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's basically a per conversation. However, they're not talking loud, and you're in the vent, so it is difficult to hear. You would have to mentally tell Leva and Solas to be quiet and do a hear noise check.
Alright, I'll tell them. Let's see if they can.
Okay, and what
be
is
as quiet
your
as he can.
hear noise roll?
It's like 50. Unless he's like a brass cone or something, but
Okay,
I don't
which
think
you're
that would
not
help
using
in this
now.
scenario.
Is it 50?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, give me a modern languages check.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So you can make out that there are two individuals talking to each other. One is clearly in a position of authority over the other, and he is asking him about some sort of preparations, whether they, how are they coming? Did you add the ingredients properly? Give me a spellcraft check.
I was going to say, can I not distinguish between arcane or divination? Not divination, divine.
So you can't tell, like, what this, what exactly they're talking about, but what you can make out enough is that these are probably two spellcasters, and one of them is checking on the other if he has followed instructions on some sort of preparation. Perhaps a magic item, perhaps a spell component, something that needs process. And you can smell that there is something cooking in the room.
Alright, I try to.
Potentially master and apprentice.
Yeah, I relay the conversation. Either a funeral rite or necromantic or some, I don't know.
Well, I don't know if we want to try and go in this room while there's two spellcasters in there.
You learn a lot about just observing them.
And give me
Yeah,
give me another give me an intelligence check, Lafdul.
Oh,
But again, we are on a time limit.
Okay. You also heard there's something out of your view without sticking your head through the grate. Some sort of creature sniveling outside of your view.
sniveling.
Sniveling. That would be the best description. It's not talking.
What's-
It's not. There's some
Sniff-
sort of creature making sounds.
Was it
Not
sniffing
sniffing.
the air or
Not sniffing. Sniveling.
Sniveling.
what's sniveling again?
Kind of thing.
Groaning, like some kind of undead thing, or I don't know. What, you guys want to check the other corridor then? You don't want to see what they're up to?
Well, we do have a time limit. Well, it would be nice to stay and listen.
I mean, you
It'd be
can
nice
conclude
enough.
that this is a magic lab of some sort.
Yeah.
They might have
Yeah.
magical wardings on the grate, actually, come to think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'll go to the other corridor, I guess, the southeast one.
Okay. So you guys head to the southeast, and that passageway, it does descend, start to descend a little bit. and so did the one that you were just at as well. But you come to another grate. You can see inside that it is the large training room that Finn described.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a passage continuing to the south. There is a grate you can get out in there, or you can continue to the south.
I think we should continue.
Agreed.
You don't see anyone in that room right now, FYI.
I think we should explore as much as possible tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So try to get as far as possible, well, halfway, and then turn around.
Okay.
See.
All right. So you head south and get to a T intersection. This is where I initially had the event come out, and I moved it a little bit north to make it make more sense. Just FYI.
Okay.
So there is an east and a west passage. You can see that there is some faint light to the east, which at this point you'd conclude that there's probably a grate down into a chamber or something like that.
To the east, sorry.
Yeah.
Should we go east? It's got light.
Yeah.
Okay. Part of this, at least, is where Finn has been. But you go east. You have not gotten to the light yet, but there is a passageway heading south, and there is some faint light down there, and you know Finn did not go in there.
Well, let's go check
there.
it.
Okay. All right. So you head down south. The vent shaft ends with a grate leading into a room, and you can hear people snoring.
Is that what I linked?
Yeah.
Accurate so far.
Yep.
So this would be guards sleeping room.
Yeah, it's dark, but not like completely dark. You can see actually below the grate there is a covered magical light. Still little bits seeping out, so you can just make out that there are some like beds around the chamber, and there's snoring.
Mm-hmm. Solas will poke his head out of the grate to do quick count on how many guards.
All right, give me
Or how many
an
sleeping places.
intelligence check.
Okay. That's a success.
Okay. There are 10. Each one has their own bed. There is a locker or a chest at the foot of the bed, and along the northern wall there is a door. And actually, I am going to pull you guys in so you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
How far away are the guards from where we are in the vent?
Pretty close. You'll see in a second.
Are we more than 5 yards away?
We are basically right above them.
Yeah, I know in the ceiling, but I've got a range of 5 yards. I'm just theory crafting at the moment.
5 yards would be most likely go below the floor of that room.
So it's within range of my memory read, that was all.
How long have we been on the way?
It's probably been another 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 altogether.
You can't cast Vocalize on someone else, can you?
I don't think so.
Because I've got memory read, but the casting time is 1 round.
Did you pull us to the map yet?
No, not yet. There was a weirdness with hit points, so I just wanted to make sure that I got that.
It doesn't say it's the caster. It says one spell casting creature. Area of effect.
What
So
is
you can
the
cast on
range?
The recipient of this spell can cast spells.
Right, what's the range?
The range is touch.
Okay, there you go.
So you can cast it on other people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you could
Range of
potentially read
so
them
just
memories.
FYI, if you glance at the range, if the range says touch, then that means that you can cast it on others. If the range is 0, you can only cast it on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Zero
Makes
or
sense.
caster.
If you cast it on me, I could read the memories without alerting them.
So you guys can see that?
Potentially.
I would have had to memorize it for that.
Oh, I assumed you did have it. No, don't worry.
Sorry,
can-
because
Can you guys see?
as I
hold,
said,
hold on. Can you guys see the map?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 3 of you? Okay.
yes.
Okay.
You see, the because the vocalize spell is only valid for the time,
Mm-hmm.
and the wizard eye would have taken a lot longer to cast, so the vocalize would not have helped at all. So she didn't cast it. She didn't memorize it,
No,
but
it's
she
fine.
will. Now she has a few other things. Maybe.
Do you want to try and cast a memory read? Everyone here seem to be asleep?
They all seem to be asleep, yeah.
There's a chance that 10 people will make a check. It's whether or not they get woken up by the noise coming from the vent.
On the other hand, we can sort of take note of this room and come back tomorrow and do the same thing, but this time with vocalize, and you can cast the spells that you want to cast.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could check the other ways. There were two other ways we can check
Yes.
before we have to decide if we want to check inside any of the rooms.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
All right. Go back up to the vents.
All right. So you go up to the vent to the continue to the east.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to a grate that you glance down through, and you can tell that you are at the corner of a corridor. Finn did describe this, and you can hear that there is someone walking in the corridor.
Is this corridor that Finn went into?
Yes. The vent does continue to the east, slightly to the north. It goes at an angle.
Not quite northeast.
As more east than north.
The one we hear walking, is that the metallic sounding one?
No.
Okay.
I think we could continue onward since Finn checked this one.
Okay. All right. So you continue east. The shaft does angle, and you come to another intersection. You can see that continuing east, you will quickly get to another grate down into a chamber, and the shaft to the north, you can see a faint light, so it is obviously going to terminate or get to another
Question
vent
for
shaft.
mapping.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Hang on. Let me just.
It's going at like a 20-degree angle upward.
Well, I did slightly less than a 20.
Yeah, that's fine.
If I did like 10.
That's fine.
I have a question too.
Yep.
If we happen to get into a anti-magic field now, what would happen to us? I'm not talking about the differences between the different fields. I'm just talking about the immediate.
Right. You would probably be stuck in. You know.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Would Leva could Leva teleport by all three of us out?
If we were in the anti-magic field, I doubt it.
Yeah, but maybe we could move sort of with lots of swearing and jiggling and wiggling, and could we move around so we would be out of the field, because we'd notice immediately if we get into that field.
Is teleport a V or a VS spell?
Just a second.
If it has any somatic component, then the answer is going to be no. If it's just verbal, then
V, just verbal.
The problem is that you probably wouldn't be able to touch them to take them with you.
Would it work if we touch her?
No.
If, let's say, we should probably define the order in which we move ahead, because the one who is first will be the one who will be hit by the field if we run into the field, correct?
Yeah.
So we should set an order that the three of us can get out.
Let's say that Solas goes first, unless Lafdul wants to.
You go. I'm drawing a maps.
That's fine.
Sorry, can you answer my question? Does this go north and continue east the same?
Yeah.
Just clarification.
Yeah.
Same incline.
No, they're straight.
So
Completely
it's straight rather than slightly. All right.
Let's check the east one.
Okay.
So Leva is a little bit behind the other two.
All right.
Hang on. Wait. Cuts. All right. This map. Was there a grate at the intersection?
No.
All right.
All right. So you head to the east and glance through the grate. You can see the beds similar to the other chamber and chests. So this is clearly another barracks. But you do not see anyone. You do not hear anyone asleep.
Is this the end of this bed?
Yes.
Is it also for 10 people, or do I have to check by poking my head?
You'd have to poke your head in.
Well, I poke my head.
Okay, give me a second. I'll just move your tokens.
And I most likely will need to roll the intelligence check.
Nope, because the chamber is lit.
Okay. Okay, this is quite a lot of more. 14 people for this one.
And there's no one in any of the beds. The beds are neatly made, however.
What are these?
They're basically bowls for like washing up.
Okay.
There's
One
face
question.
and everything like that. Yeah, wash basins.
So
Are these grates? Can we open them, or do we have to get through the holes?
You have to get through between the grates.
Okay.
They're embedded in the stone.
Let's continue. Go back to the intersection and go north.
Okay. So you go north, and the shaft terminates at another grate. Glancing in, it looks like a short hallway. So let me go ahead and move your tokens up there. So
yeah, I will poke my head into the hallway to see if there's anything of note.
So there are 6 doors. They're sturdy, and you can guess based on positioning that this door
to the hallway that Finn was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any like signs or anything on the doors?
No, but they're pretty sturdy looking doors, well made and nice, a little bit higher quality.
Okay. Well, I think we should go back. Check was it on the west a few intersections back to the west?
Yeah.
Where we haven't explored on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you might have meant to mute
Once,
yourself, Leva.
Yeah, I just realized I wasn't. Sorry about that.
It's okay. All right, so
she has
yeah.
a question, comment, whatever. she wants to look whether she can see any holes where, for example, a wizard eye could go through. Does she?
These are very well-made doors, so it does not look like they have that. But possibly, if anywhere, the base of the doors, there might be enough space. But that is something that you would probably have to actually try, because it would be a very tight fit.
Okay.
Can we also, have we seen any bells as we've been looking around there? Can we like poke a head through the vent, see if there's any bells anywhere?
You
Like-
have not seen any, no.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that there aren't any. It
Just haven't seen them.
Yeah.
And if there were, they would most likely be on the hallways.
I mean,
Probably
since
near
you're-
the
since
vent
you-
accesses, I would assume, because
Since you-
that's how sound travels.
Since you poked your head in here, do you want to look? I mean, you are in a hallway. It's not the
Yeah,
long
I
hallway.
will look through.
Okay. Well, you'd probably have to come out and like look around because of the odd angle.
Alright.
All right.
I would. How much time we have left?
I mean, if you're just gonna like get out and look, it's been another 3 minutes so far.
So 13 minutes have passed.
Yeah.
So we should be starting to head back. Because it's going to be taking longer to get back up. Unless we want to take the attacks from the air elemental and have it potentially follow us.
Not necessarily, no. I think for first exploration run, this is not bad.
Yeah, and since we now know these places, we might be able to use clairvoyance for them and such.
Yes, exactly, and wizard eye and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I think we might be heading back so we can get through the air elemental without it aggroing on us.
All right.
What do you think, Lafdul?
Sure. I agree with that. Oh, I'm sort of listening, sort of not. I mean, you just want to go back because the time constraint what Solas was all about.
Yeah, I don't want to have to fight with the air elemental.
What happened with the air elemental? Did it attack us or try to attack us?
It didn't attack us because we have the protection from evil. It did attack Finn.
We're also invisible, don't forget.
Yeah, it might not have just noticed us.
Yeah, but I'm much more trusting on the fact that protection from evil was what kept us safe from it.
Okay. As long as we're safe, it doesn't really matter to Leva.
Well, you've summoned enough creatures. Can't you roll spellcraft to know whether or not a creature would realise this by now? If there is a protective barrier that prevents you from attacking.
I mean, if they're prevented from attacking, then they can't attack you.
No, but would a creature realise this? Before
You
even
basically
trying to attack in the
dove
first
right
place?
down the shaft, so like you bypassed where it was in an instant.
Yeah, probably don't have time to react.
I guess we'll notice on the way back whether it actually sees us or not.
Perhaps
we'll
for
just-
the next time we can think about getting the longer duration 10 feet radius version.
All right, so you're gonna start making your way back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lafdul, do you want to take a look at look for a bell in this corridor before you go? Or are you
Unless
worried
they're
about
going to
time?
really strongly object, I am.
I mean, you can also split up.
No, because he's got the invisibility right now.
Well, you can
You
use
could
your
put-
own powers
yeah.
to get invisible.
I know I can, but you know,
Also, aren't you higher level cleric than me?
no. I'm always going to be the lowest level cleric in this
Ah.
group now.
Then you would be having even a bigger time constraint than I have.
I mean, you'll be the lowest level until I eventually dual class in the cleric.
Yeah. You got
But-
the wisdom to do that?
I said
He's-
eventually.
he's-
I have to get the stats.
He's hoping to get the stats. I mean, what else would you use your invisibility for, Lafdul?
Well, I was thinking about using memory read on the guards and then recasting invisibility if it were to break.
All right. Well, that would still require time, and if they're heading back, then you don't have the time for that.
Yeah, no, I go with the group.
Okay.
Again, if we have prepared the higher level one, that lasts way longer. So at that
Which
point,
one
the
is
time
that?
isn't. It's the clerical version of the protection from evil 10 feet radius, which is 1 turn per level.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Yeah, we
also
just-
way more costly.
Yeah, rather. It's just got burning incense as well.
It's 20 feet in diameter using holy water and incense when you cast it.
Speaking of, I need to mark off my holy water.
So this normal protection from evil is way cheaper.
Okay. So you guys are all making your way back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you get back to the shaft, heading up, and you would basically be going as quickly as you can back to that point. You're not taking any like concerns for looking through grates or anything like that.
Yeah.
So let me see. I think that there's going to be a 50% chance that Lafdul's has run out by the point that you get up to the air elemental. So let me see.
Lafdul's polymorph?
No, his protection from
No,
evil.
the protection from
Oh,
evil.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Lafdul, do you want high or low?
No.
Okay. All right. You fly up past the chamber with the air elemental, and it does seem to swirl around and want to blast towards you, but does not do so.
It seems that the spell was still in effect.
All right.
I say we did get quite a lot of intel for that short of a period.
I posted the map in AD&D for the viewers watching if they want to know what I was drawing.
Okay.
We now have at least few potential routes in if we decide to go this route.
All right. So you guys can discuss what you have learned and kind of formulate a plan for what you want to do, like in the future, next time. Like, anyone have any thoughts, ideas? Now that the
I would really like to vocalize, for next
casters are back.
stuff.
Did you find the kitchen?
No.
We found storage crates.
Oh, right, because you got that dissension feast spell, haven't you? That makes everyone fight.
Would I be able to make an estimate on the storage room? What would be the distance to kitchen based on the chimney's location?
Hard to say because you don't know exactly where the all the passageways lead and everything like that.
Yeah, but rough estimation.
One thing that you can say for sure is that there is not a path directly off that storage room to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They go up or down. Generally, feet's kept lower, like a cold air area. So
And
be
the
above.
storage area is on the near pretty much under the caldera, whereas the chimneys are on the outside of the mountain. or the outside wall of the mountain?
Well, the vent isn't quite there. They found it coming back from that search. They
No.
didn't find it at the caldera. It's just farther back from the front than the.
Okay.
But like if you want to check out the kitchen, I mean, you know exactly where that is. Like, I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
could send a wizard eye, or someone could fly down there, or something like that, kind of thing. So you've got
While being burnt alive.
they.
Well,
I mean,
if you do it
there
at
isn't.
nighttime,
Yeah,
the
there isn't smoke at
fires are
night.
off.
Yeah.
You do have polymorph still up.
Yeah, I've got another spell polymorph. Yeah, I don't have Dissension's Feats, but
You could take a look around if you want it.
Yeah,
It's
that
up
might
to
be
you.
worth doing. That might be worth doing.
No, I could do. When it's been like about an hour after it's gone cold or something.
How long have you got left?
That would probably put an hour left on polymorph. Or
I mean, I've got another
Less
spell
than that.
polymorph. I've memorized 2.
it's up to you.
You could
The
potentially
fly
take
spell
out.
would run out, most likely.
You could potentially take out most of the guards if you're able to.
Well, yeah, it's
Work out
just
if
seeing
you
what's
go back
in the
to that.
room to see if it's viable. Yeah, I can look, I guess. I have my mind read, and I do have a silence 15-foot radius, so there's going to be a lot of spell memorization the next day.
Okay, so do you want to cast a new polymorph? I mean, you still have fly up and you still have polymorph. If you want to go over there.
How long did he say fly typically lasts?
It was
3-ish
turn
hours.
per level plus 1d6 turns.
Yeah, so 2 to 3
Oh,
hours.
so it's a variable.
So it's a minimum of 11 turns.
So I know when the fly runs out that I've got less than an hour on my. Wow. It's safe to assume that my polymorph will run out relatively soon.
I mean,
Once I know I'm
you
no
could
longer
have up to an
flying.
hour left on polymorph after fly runs out.
Yeah, but what my thinking is, once I know fly's worn out, then I know I need to start heading out. Providing.
Yep, that you could do that.
Alright, and I will make myself invisible where I granted power.
Okay.
Now, I also cast Whisper Ward on the door. So if they, obviously once everyone's left and we're not coming back here later anymore, we re-put the wood back up or whatever we've done.
Alright.
So if they investigate, my Whisper Ward will wake me.
Alright, real fast. What level is telepathy?
3rd.
Okay. I'm just making some notes of XP for after.
Old?
Yep.
I would re-up the Sacred Guardian that Finn lost when the Air Elemental attacked him.
Alright, that's fine. And Solas, you cast the fly on yourself and
Lafdul.
Okay.
Only Polymorph has been higher than 3rd. Of the spells I've cast.
Okay. Alright, so Lafdul, you head down the chimney after the fire is out.
I was thinking, can I borrow the power off the Finn? Because it resists fire, but never mind, it's not here.
I mean, you wait until the fire was out, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would cast Silence 15-foot radius on something I can put in a pouch if I need to. Oh.
Well, you're
That's the
polymorphed.
point. Yeah, on
You
a
mean like
stone.
a small pebble?
Yeah, on a pebble or something that I can either drop or abandon or something.
Okay. And are you going to make yourself invisible?
Yeah, I'm using my granted power.
Okay. All right.
And I will also cast Mind Read as I go down, just in case there's someone there that I didn't realize was there.
You'd have to hover in place, basically, as you're doing that. Like, descend very, very slowly. Are you going to do that?
Yeah,
No,
I just don't want to. I don't want to
down.
cast the spell down there. That was the
Okay.
whole point.
All right. All right.
If there's something to mind read, then I'll mind read it. If there's not, there's not.
Okay. What are you polymorphed into that is allowing you to cast a spell? And did you take off your stuff before you polymorphed? Because I don't remember you saying that.
As an order of operations, I would have returned to my original form. I would have flown over to the vents first.
Okay.
While making myself invisible. So I arrive, I'm invisible, I assume the smoke's gone out. I would have, not gone right to it, I was gone a little bit far away, so I can cast, I'm just checking the duration of silence and memory read. Mind read, I mean. Mind read is around a level, and silence is guardian sphere. There's two, I would have cast silence first.
Okay.
Then I cast silence on a pebble, then obviously pick up the pebble after I've cast the other spell.
Okay. Alright, so you make your way down.
Yeah.
Okay. It is dark at the bottom of the chimney shaft. Now, it doesn't matter which of the 4 visible openings that you took, because they all merged into one shaft going down. And you get down and come out, and you can't hear anything, but you can see.
Am I seeing with infravision or normal light?
Essentially infravision, because it is dark in the room. You're over here.
And there's a person just...
There is a person sleeping on a bed in the corner of the room.
Based on the fact that they sleep in the kitchen, they are most likely to cook.
So you can see that there's some barrels, there's tables out where food, would be prepared and stuff like that. There is a pump in one corner for water. You do notice that in this corner of the room, there is a ceiling vent, obviously leading into the vent system that you were in.
Oh. Can I look up into the vent? Oh, this is on a different level though, isn't it?
No. You don't think so?
Oh, wait, was this that one passageway we didn't explore, that western...
There was a passageway that you didn't go down, yes.
Yeah, if I poke my head up that vent, does it go into a straight line and it slightly curves off?
It goes, like, west-southwest, and you can't see, because it's dark up there, you can't see where it goes from there. Like, if you actually want to explore that, you can.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
What does it look like this person's cooking? Was cooking, has been cooking? How much are they preparing?
Hard to say, because the place has been cleaned up. But there's definitely space for lots of meals to be prepared. It's not like this is serving like 2 people kind of thing.
Is this like a multi-person operation cook area, or is this just a single person?
I have no idea. I mean, you only see one person here right now.
Yeah, there's only one bunk. It's probably to stop prisoners from grabbing stuff.
So there are two large doors over here, and there is a single door on the northern wall.
Alright, because I got mind read up, do I get anything from the sleeping person? Do I know if they're asleep? Because there should be nothing.
They are asleep, yes.
Ah, such a gamble. Because my because it puts me in a state of vulnerability when I cast Memory Read. Alright, no, I'm not going to cast it, but I am going to help myself to a cooking utensil as a new holy symbol.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever I find. Yeah, no, I take notes of food stocks so that may be relevant to.
So there's not a whole lot of food in here right now.
Does anything look that was fresh, potentially like meat carving knives? Like butchery knives, like carcass handling knives?
You don't see a lot of evidence of like fresh meat handling here.
Yeah.
So you would guess that
It's all dry ration.
Yeah, probably dried meat is primarily what they use. You do see
Stews and
there are
soups.
some barrels that one appears to have like apples and the other has flour in it. And over here is a cask on its side. And if you wanted to go over there and smell that, do you want to try that? Like smell near it?
No. I want to see if I can see any creatures. I want to see if I can just observe for a minute to see if I see any signs of a cat in this room.
Okay.
Because cats like to hunt vermin and they probably get kept in the kitchen or somewhere.
Let's see. What is your wisdom score?
18.
Okay. You don't see any obvious signs of a cat. You don't see a cat, and you don't see like a litter box or something similar.
Or is there a cat like sleeping on the bed or anything?
You do not see a cat.
Alright. You said there was something for me to investigate. Where's the drawing tool?
There's a cask on its side over here if you want to go, like, smell it.
I'm just thinking my radius is like that. 15 foot. If I go... I'm trying not to breach the... Can I smell it from there?
You'd have to get it right up against it.
I can just place the stone somewhere very obvious.
Alright.
Like there. And I'd still be within.
Yeah.
Without going over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I make a very good mental note of where it is.
Okay.
Then obviously I smell what this is.
Alright, it's definitely some sort of beer or ale.
Oh, the temptation to steal it for Solas. No.
It's a pretty big cask.
That's fine. I will go back, pick up my stone.
Okay.
And I will see if I can... How big are these apples? I might come back with like one apple.
They're normal-sized apples.
Yeah, but I'm a small creature at the moment. Maybe like a pixie or an Atomy or something.
Yeah, it would be very big for you.
I will return to a human form. I will pocket one into a pouch, and then I will return back into a polymorphed creature.
Okay.
Still veneer.
Alright.
And I leave and I head back to the party.
Okay. Alright, so you get back to the group, and you can inform them of what you saw in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah, no, basically... Well, I tried to see if that is the last area we didn't head up to. I think that's where the last vent passageway was. It leads to the cook's room.
Leva does cooking, doesn't she, Braxton's going to ask Leva if she can guess from Lafdul's description how many people they're feeding.
KG?
The kitchen is certainly large enough to feed a goodly number of people, but the supplies in the kitchen itself was not sufficient. But there were also doors off that Lafdul didn't go into.
So with the supplies that are visible in the kitchen, how many people could have been fed?
With the supplies just in the kitchen, a handful.
Okay.
The space in the kitchen could definitely would definitely be good enough to prepare, assuming like all-day work.
Hundreds of meals, or are we just talking like the guards alone?
Dozens.
Alright, so like a full-sized workhouse kitchen or something, I suppose. For whatever the time period is. Alright.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, I got an apple. I cut it up into pieces. Who wants a piece of apple? I took a souvenir.
Braxton will have a piece.
Don't eat it if it's a souvenir.
I mean, it's just an apple. Yeah, so it's just nice to have a little bit of something fresh, considering we got dry rations. So.
Okay. So regarding the vent, considering that you saw a western passage going straight west, and that one was going like west-southwest, obviously there's a point where it turns. Whether there's any other passageways off of that, any vents off of that, you don't know.
Did you see any bags around the kitchen area?
Yeah, there was like sacks of some stuff. I assume like spices or something.
Okay.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff in there. You didn't like do a full inventory or anything like that. What kind of bags are you wondering about?
Finn or Leva would have a better idea of being actual cooks.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking if we do take out people in the prison, we should just, if we got full control of the prison and we get the prisoner, it might be worth us grabbing some food, enough food for us to get back to our ship.
I mean, food's not really an issue. It's just what we're carrying on us. We can always create food and water, so...
Yeah, there's that, yeah.
So I was looking at all my spells. I've only cast the one polymorph. I didn't have to cast the second one, or did I?
You did not. You were not down there very long.
Yeah, it was basically an in and out. Sign's gone, Mind Read's gone. So I was just ticking off my spells I have used. Oh, I still have Sacred Guardian. I will cast Sacred Guardian on...
Well, you said that you were going to cast it on... Or was that Solas who was casting it on?
I cast it.
Solas has cast his. I have mine. I'm just trying to think. I'm going to cast it on Ockar.
Okay.
Because he's either on watch, he might get taken out then,
What does that spell do?
It just alerts me of your first endangerment.
Okay.
It doesn't say that it wakes you up, but I assume it would.
It wakes you, Lafdul up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So basically, if you're on watch and you suddenly get knocked out.
Good, I got it.
The spell you've got access to, I think. Actually, do you have Guardian?
No, he does not.
You got protection, haven't you? Yeah.
Yep. So, you'd get back to the camp, and Finn would... I
have combat, divination, healing, law, protection, war, not guardian.
Yeah. So Finn would return and let you know that the patrol went out at 9 p.m. at night.
So before the fires went out.
No, it was around the time that went out. That was around the time that Lafdul would have been going down into the kitchen kind of thing. Or,
Okay.
well, I guess if you waited an hour, then yeah, that'd be after that. All right, so you guys can get some sleep unless you wanted to do anything else. Any other discussions? You want to discuss what you want to do the next day before you go to sleep, so that people know what they want to prepare to take.
We can do bit longer scouting tomorrow if one of us takes protection from evil 10 feet radius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can take one.
But that means we have to stay together all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that only means that you need to stay together when you pass up by the air elemental.
Yeah.
That is not like invisibility 10-foot radius.
You can keep
Oh,
on
okay.
re-entering it.
Oh, that's
you
nice.
only have the
Good.
benefit while you're within the area.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't worked out
yeah.
what a prisoner is yet, have you?
We're just doing more scouting tomorrow. We're not actually doing any form of attacking or
Yeah.
anything. So
Were you able to see into those feeding holes of any of the prisoners?
They didn't check them out.
We
No.
didn't go outside at the vents.
Right.
Only poked our heads in.
I'm just thinking when we at some
Did
point
you
we are
find the
gonna.
warden's office?
No, we've just stayed in events. We didn't see anything that looked like a.
Yeah.
We
So
did
if you're
find a
polymorph-
spellcaster laboratory, so and that's there the wardens.
If you're polymorph, can I lend you my ring so you can understand them better?
I guess. Would that allow to read the accent?
I think you could. Can you read as well?
If the person that
No.
you're pulling the information from can read, then yes, you can.
Ah, right. Yeah. So,
Well, it doesn't have to be me. I mean, it could also be Solas or level,
Yeah,
depending on who goes with.
I don't mind who I lend it to. Solas seems to like books. You
would
probably
have to be in your normal shape, kind of thing. I mean, you can't use it as a mouse or something.
Yeah.
That's the point. I wonder if my regeneration still works if I'm polymorphed.
I do allow the constant stuff to work, to continue working.
Not active.
Yeah,
Right.
something you can't activate something that needs to be activated, but Ring of Regeneration, Ring of Protection, Bracers, those things will continue to function.
My Ring of Holiness and that.
Yep.
Stores my spells.
So I guess to read the records
There's no
of the
reason why.
warden's office, you'd need to have one of them that can read nearby.
Or a first level wizard spell, Comprehend Languages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
A side note, it doesn't. I mean, it's obviously up to Leva and Solas, but you could potentially be one of the people that comes with us. Or I stay, or, it doesn't have to be us three. I mean, we can mix up the group if you think you have a different insight that you think would be important.
What if we go exploring? Or what?
Well, I mean, Braxon might have ideas that we haven't thought of. I mean,
Well, Lyra will want to go down again, and this time with at least one, if not several, functioning wizard eyes. So there is, she can actually send it out and we can follow it if necessary, or we know where to go.
I think you're stationary though, aren't you, when you cast a spell?
No. You don't even have to concentrate on Wizard Eye. You can actually literally take off where you left it. Except that the time runs out. That's normal, but
Well, you have to concentrate when you want to use it.
yes. But other than that, you can just leave it in the air.
So we do
A
know.
question, by the way.
Oh,
Sorry.
hold on. Braxon was asking.
We do know you can use your magic down there. One thing I'd like to know, and it doesn't necessarily mean I have to go down, is where the barracks are of the guards. Because if people are able to sneak in the prison just as we're about to start the jailbreak, and you're able to seize up the door of the guard room, then that means whoever's in there is out of action for the duration of what we're doing.
Until they bash down the guard.
Well, we did sneak into and saw 2 of the guard sleeping quarters.
Yeah. Do you remember what the doors were like?
Solid
Only
wood
that-
doors.
Yeah, wooden doors. So they would be able to bash them down eventually, especially since I
Yeah.
think they had their gear inside.
Right. Do you know if the doors opened inwards or outwards? Because we might be able to wedge
No
them.
idea.
Okay.
We didn't
Doors
go and check them.
generally open inwards away from a hall.
Yeah.
Because again, because you don't. If you're in a room and you open the door and it opens into the hall, you could be smacking someone walking along the hall.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So-
then fair enough then.
90+% of the time, if there's a door that opens onto a
Yeah.
hall, it opens into the room as opposed to into the hall.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe when we're ready to go, you could use your warping wood to block the doors up.
Or even just a priest lock on the door.
Yeah.
Or wizard lock. I mean, they'd still bash it down, but it would take time. I mean, a group of warriors hacking a door, don't take too long to hack down a door. I mean, if there was like 10 Braxtons, how long do you think it would take to bash down one of our ship doors? Probably like
Yeah.
a couple of rounds for you.
Yeah. Slow them down though, anyway.
Yeah.
And if you can do it silently, and you wanted to sabotage that bell as well.
Oh, there might be multiple bells. I don't know where they are. I mean, that's what the second scouting trip's for. We might be able to find a lot of bells.
All the question.
Yep.
The divination enhancement enhances divination spells, but Wizard Eye is not a divination spell.
It's the exception.
Ah, okay. Exceptions prove the rule.
So
see.
it's
Okay.
designed specifically to enhance Wizard Eye and divinations. Put it that way.
All right. Thank you.
Probably up to the DM to allow other spells that are very specifically similar.
I mean, not every divination spell is going to be improved anyway, just because they don't necessarily have like range and duration and stuff like that. So the one thing to keep in mind is that at the end of divination enhancement, any divinations that you currently have running will end prematurely.
Yes, it says so quite clearly.
So that is something to keep in mind.
Something because it's like this Stalingrad Empire, the majority of the place seems to be all humans, or maybe humans and half-elves. Most of them won't be able to see in the dark. I think we've only got one party member that can't see in the dark, and I think that's just Ockar. If I give him like battle sight or something, we could just go around like in a cloak of darkness.
Braxon, how do you mean not see in the dark?
Braxon sees.
Braxon's got the belt.
Okay.
Finn has the Iron Stone. It's just Ockar that can't. But if he's given battle sight, then he can see in the dark.
I mean, do any of you guys know Infravision?
Yeah.
The spell.
The wizard spell?
Yeah.
No. No.
I mean, does Braxon, does Ockar really need a spell? He has a seeing eye dog.
I don't think he works that way.
He's got good night vision, but he doesn't see but he doesn't have infravision.
Yeah, this isn't like inky blackness. This is just an absence of generalized light.
But I mean, keep in mind that this is an underground facility. They have no windows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If they got lots of magic, they probably got continual lights around all over the place.
What sort of lights did you see when you were going round?
That's the point.
Did they have like magical torches on the walls or what?
What did we see? We must have saw something.
So you saw in the two rooms that you would have seen the lights in for sure. Were the two barracks rooms, because the lights were literally right underneath the grates. In the first one where everyone was sleeping, there was a cover over it. It was like a thick black cloth just draped over something, so not a whole lot of light. Like it was just like little bits of dim light coming out, kind of thing. In the other one where there wasn't anyone, there was a magical light, very obviously continual light spell.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to use torches and such since they would burn up the air.
I know. Well, that shows they're more advanced.
I realised it was when they had the illusion and anti-magic that they must be.
How easy do you think it would be to lever those off?
It would have been pretty hard. They're fixtures.
Right. Okay.
Like that, it is not the kind of thing where you could just like knock them off. And even if you knocked them off, then it would just put the light on the ground as opposed to on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think everyone, maybe one person, I think used up those little baubles I gave everyone with like continual darkness on them, and they had like a shape wood sheath around them to seal them. I think one person used one.
I mean, that would only get rid of one light, so...
Yeah, but if there's like 7 of us, we can get rid of 7 light sources. Which is quite advantageous when we can all see in the dark and they can't. It's like a -4 for their attack roll or something.
Yeah. Can you make more of those?
I mean, I can.
But it would cause a delay.
I imagine they're better used strategically with what we've got them rather than just trying to blank out the entire prison.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering why you haven't put, for example, like 20 pebbles with continual darkness inside your pouch.
I've got 2 daggers of continual darkness on.
Yeah, but these pebbles would be basically just to extinguish continual lights.
Yeah, I suppose that's something I could think about in the future.
But yeah, I think we will be most likely preparing for a longer scouting trip for the next day.
It's a shame our levels vocalize the second level because it'll take up the same slots as their invisibility.
Which one does?
Vocalize. Second level.
Yeah, well, but she has 5 of those, so that's okay.
Is there any chance you could lend me one of those spells for tomorrow?
I'll lend you
remember
one.
that vocalize.
Yeah, so I can use
only
memory
5
reads,
rounds.
basically. Yeah, it's.
I put it down for she's going to vocalize. Yes, she's going to vocalize memory. She's going to memorize vocalize twice tomorrow because she wants it for something else as well. So yeah, she can use it one of them, and you.
Alright, that'd be cool. I mean, I took the protection from evil 10-foot radius for the group, so.
How high?
There will only be one invisibility again, so nobody wants.
How high up were the light fixers?
Roof.
The ones in the barracks were really only about like just above head height, so really easy to just plop the cloth over, but not like if you're just looking around the room, you're not gonna like just happen to stare right into a bright sunlight style light kind of thing.
Yeah. What about Finwen in the corridors? Does he remember?
He did not specifically say that he was paying close attention to the
Okay.
lights, so I don't think that he would have made a big note, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. The one place that he definitely would have noticed was when he went down into the corridor at the where the corridor was a corner. The light fixture was high on the wall.
Yeah.
So near the top, to basically give it the best light. And it didn't, like, in a discussion, you'd realize that, yeah, there's probably no real reason to ever black that one out because it's in a corridor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I'm thinking, and we might not do this, and there's a question with this, and the question's going to be, would you be able to improvise something sticky, Lafdul, from what's in there, so that maybe if you had a chance to make more of these darkness things, if you were able to make me invisible and quiet, I could go around with my my ladder and stick dark things on light things.
You've just got to breach the area of effect and they cancel each other out.
Right.
So within like, I don't know, 60 yards of each other, I think, or something. I don't know, it's quite long range. Since
Okay.
darkness is...
I doubt it's 60 yards.
No, you basically need to bring, the centers kind of need to overlap kind of thing. It's not like just bring it right into the edge.
Yeah, I'd think it's more like getting it to 10 feet or like something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. If we had something sticky, someone could maybe throw a sticky stone.
But keep in mind that if you're looking at something in like continual light, so you're using normal vision, and you black it out, you've got one round before your infravision kicks in, kind of thing, because you need to turn it on, so to speak. So there's basically always going to be a round when you're blinded as soon as that goes out, kind of thing.
No, that's cool. I'm thinking that if we were ready to launch our operation, and someone was able to go around and just turn off the lights while they were quiet and invisible.
Well, both Finn and the spellcasters today saw a hallway patrol.
Yeah.
And if you do that before we actually go in, the patrols would notice it, and
yeah.
So I'm just saying that like your timing would have to be pretty close on that.
Yeah.
That's why I think they're better situational. Is that you find a load of humans, you just try to you cancel out their immediate light source. While they're trying to fight you off.
Does one of you have the web spell?
Solas, he's used it on me.
Yes.
Well, if we were able to work out where the prisoner we want was, and you could cast a web spell in the corridor, you could stop the patrol getting through it. I mean, they could set light to it to get through it, but they might not know that.
Or just hack through it, but it would slow them down, yes.
Yeah. putting out a few lights on the way out, if we had time, could cause enough confusion to slow them down enough for Finn to be able to cast his confusing forest spell.
I don't think that works inside.
No, he's going to cast it outside once we're clear in front of the doorway.
And we talked about last time that it's not going to be the forest spell, but the Evard's Black Tentacles, because the forest would not be that confusing when there's no forest nearby.
Okay.
No,
It'd
so
disbelieve it, wouldn't it?
it would certainly cover up a lot of stuff. I mean, like the goal wasn't we've lost them in all of these trees that are indistinguishable, the magical ones from the real ones. The idea is more it would still cover up you guys.
Yeah.
So I mean, he may or may not cast it. That's that'll
That's
happen.
his choice.
It's his choice, and it's situational too. Like, it'll depend on the situation. But he wasn't talking about like blending in with actual trees that were there. It's more of just confuse them even more. And if you got Evard's Black Tentacles there, and you put the hallucinatory forest, then they can't see the Evard's Black Tentacles that are attacking them. Right? So
yeah, that'd definitely slow them down.
Yeah.
But that would still be only outside the door of the prison itself.
Yeah.
Since there's the anti-magic field.
But it might give you more time to get up to your ship.
Okay. One thing I would say is if someone's going to go in and try and read the records for this prisoner, I would say secondary objective is see if they were brought in with anyone. If they were captured with someone like a wife or some sort of lieutenant, they might want to bring that person with them.
If it's readily available information, I don't think we have had too many rounds time to go through the records.
No, I understand. I just mean if it says anything on their record that they were brought in with someone else, if they spring on us when we're going to take them out, that they're not leaving unless we bring someone with them.
Or unless it's a state secret, as in, like, he was sequestered here and is being kept alive, but, not outright killed.
Yeah.
But otherwise is, for all intents and purposes, is dead. To the public, at least.
Well, they did tell to the public that the Empress's half-brother was assassinated.
Yeah.
So let me ask this, so you guys can start preparing for it. What are your goals on your next scouting trip, and what are you going to do to make those goals achievable? Do you want to get into the warden's office next time?
I want to sabotage weapon supplies, so arrows and crossbows of warpwoods and stuff.
Solas plans on checking all of the vents to basically plan on what is going to be the best place to start our attack when we come out of the vents.
That's
I
about
would
what Leva
love
wants to do.
to scout around that wizard's laboratory. I'm sure the wizards would love that as well, but it's probably warded to.
So Leva will use the wizard eye to see whether she can find something else than what we found up to now, and what we will find next time.
Okay.
Because
as a note, like so, like the doors, they're well constructed and they're well fitted to their frames, but there's always a little bit of space under them because you don't want them rubbing against things and stuff like that. So what you can do is like basically take the wizard eye up to the crack beneath the door and see if it'll fit. And it may or it may not. You basically won't know until
Sounds
you
good.
try it, kind of thing.
Yep.
And that's
1
that.
inch, they say.
Yeah. Some doors, like, and there's some doors that are pretty likely, you know, that you'd probably put as more likely to have that kind of thing, that kind of space.
Mm-hmm.
Doors that are less important, doors that are, you know, don't matter as much. But that may also mean that you want to think about other ways that you can get through, like, cracks that are too small for even that to fit through.
Well, one of the things, in fact, thinking about it, it's even more important than getting underneath the door. One of the things that Leva wants to get is she wants to have the wizard eye get into in under one of those trapdoors.
All right.
So she wants to follow that into the. She wants to go into the corridor with the trapdoors and follow that guy around. And when he opens the trapdoor, she wants to send the eye down.
Okay.
Hopefully, without him noticing. She wants to know how it looks at the bottom because there's not much point in us knowing all of the top if we have no idea how to get down and how it looks at the bottom.
Yeah.
Wasn't there stairs down on the storage room?
There is.
Yeah, well,
We
there's
could
nothing that
also
holds us from
learn.
going down.
And
But
you know from Finn that that does connect to the end of the corridor going north from that one vent.
Mm-hmm.
We could also learn the patrols, how long it takes for them to do a circuit.
we don't have a scroll with polymorph self on it, do we?
Why would you say that? No one other than me could use that. That isn't a wizard.
Because Leva has 4 level 4 spells. One of them has to be the wild magic one. So she has 3 spells for that she can use, which is one is wizard eye. One she
see.
wants divination enhancement, so the wizard eye lasts longer. And for the third one, she would absolutely need polymorph self, so she could get down over the shaft.
Does
Well,
And if we have
actually,
Veomer count as wild magic spell for the 4th level slot?
which one?
Can you use Nahal's Reckless Veomer for that?
No, it's a 2nd level spell.
Ah.
But you can try to use that to cast a spell that you want.
Yes. What's the chance that it actually happens?
The
What's
higher
the
level you,
percentage?
the higher
What's
level
the
you are,
percentage of it actually happen?
the higher level you are, the better the chance.
And you are pretty high level.
Side note now, but you don't necessarily have to polymorph. You just need reduce and fly.
Yes.
And that's something
Okay.
Solas could cover, technically, if you give
I
him
don't-
invisibility.
She
don't
does have
reduce.
She has reduce and fly, so that's covered. But she wanted to use polymorph, but that's okay.
I mean,
She's prepared.
polymorph also allows you to change into various shapes that might help you get through spots as well.
Exactly.
I mean, if there's any place that that your wizard eye can go through, then a mouse would be able to go through.
Mm-hmm.
You can also be a black pudding to go underneath doors.
Yes, that's nice. But if she doesn't have polymorph self because she got the 2nd wizard eye, that doesn't help. However, if she reduces herself and she's small enough and like a mouse, then she can get through those areas too. Right?
None of us have tried. Yeah. None of us have tried talking to this air elemental.
Feel free.
I mean, if you put protection from evil on yourself, then it can't attack you, and you have some means of communicating with it.
What happens if it has command to let the others know that we are here?
It would have done so by now.
Mm,
Do we know
yes.
that it hasn't?
You do not know that it has not.
No, but we didn't see additional patrol, so I would guess that it hasn't.
Those kinds of... it sounds silly and maybe a bit macabre, but I think elementals, when they're cast by wizards, are kind of like cast and forget. It's there to serve a purpose, and then, yeah. They
It's
don't
kind
treat them like humans, if that makes sense.
It's kind of been imprisoned in that small space, hasn't it?
Yeah, like the other people, they just use it for its what it is. Like the water elementals for cleaning sewage water or whatever.
Why don't
And-
you offer it its freedom?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to, or maybe convince it to assist us. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it might be compelled to not
You
do
can
anything
wrest
else.
control from
Yeah.
elementals if you're high level, but
Okay.
the magic to do it. I do not. I mean, Finn's the only elementalist. Well, I don't think Solas will ever have wizard magics to do that.
Yeah.
Do what?
Commands elemental or something. It's like a elemental spell.
I haven't taken that yet.
I don't know. Finn has conjure elemental. Hmm. I'm sure there was like a protection spell.
I mean, there's protection from elementals.
That was like a 5th level spell.
It's neither here nor there at this point, unless someone has it.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
you can PM Finn and let him, and say, hey, if you have a spell like this, it might be worth taking or something like that. If it's a pre-spell, but otherwise, it's neither here nor there.
A silly question. If this creature was summoned by an evil wizard, the spell evil would just make it disappear. It's summoned from another plane.
It would.
Elementals, djinn, invisible stalkers.
Yeah, that is a way to send things back to their home planes. Yes.
Saving throw negates it.
Right. Yeah, dispel evil is oftentimes used for like lower planar creatures and stuff like that. But I mean, what goals do you want to set for yourselves for your next scouting trip, and what is going to be necessary to get that done?
Lots of spells.
Well,
Not dying in our
very
sleep.
clear. Solas has very clear goals, like is going to be checking out the events and determining what might be the best entry point.
Learning
And
how
so you
often.
have, the more we know about the place we're at, the better we can plan for when we actually want to go in and do stuff.
Right, but what I'm getting at is like you're still
Well, like I
no
said-
closer to figuring out where the prisoner is that you want.
That's why, like I said, she will go down and essentially with Solas, and then have a look to get further down under the trapdoors and down the stairs, and just get to know where things are.
Okay.
We need to know where those prisoners are before we can free them.
Based on what I saw, I have a reasonable guess where offices might be for Warden and such.
Well, yes, you want to have the information which prisoners are worth being let free, whereas
Yeah.
Lever just wants to know where the prisoners are and how to free them.
Yeah, Solas is going to disagree freeing murderers, unrepentant murderers and such.
Everyone's
already
got their
said
own
that.
goals.
Our primary objective is to get out the elf. Right?
Yes, but we
So
have to know where he is. We have
I
to know
know,
where he is
I know,
before
I know,
that's very much in the future.
I know.
Right
So
now, it is more that we need to know where things are.
we
And
need to find the cell that person is in.
yeah,
So
well,
it's possible that if there is someone else you find in the records that is useful, bearing in mind we can't take everyone on the flitter, it's possible that if there is someone with them, a companion that was taken at the same time as them, it's possible that if we released both of them, that would help them. Yeah. But we are not going to have time to release every single prisoner, because the longer we're in that facility once the alarm is raised, the more chance they have to make a counterattack. So we're going to have to do bang, bang, bang once we get going. So we can't release everyone, but we might be able to release a small number of people.
Yeah, you release enough of them, then they'll either, help themselves and release everyone and like overthrow. You just have to start a fire. You don't have to set an inferno.
we are
Again,
not at
so
that point yet. We have no idea where they are.
Yeah.
We have no idea how many there are.
Yeah.
Before we talk about freeing them, we need to know where they are. We have to get the information. And then we can say, yes, here we know. Now we know. Now we can decide on whom to free and when to do and how to do it.
I
and
got a
we can
question.
only go through the records when we make our attack.
I've got a
Not
question.
necessarily, but yeah, go ahead, Braxon.
Didn't Finn say that he saw food being lowered down through trapdoors in the floor?
Yes.
So have we seen any evidence yet that there's doors that we can open to get the prisoners out?
You haven't seen any information one way or the other. That is
But
Right.
Finn did say
assuming
that those
assuming
trapdoors were small.
yeah, assuming that those are the cells, which is might be a reasonable assumption. It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
They were about 6 inches by 6 inches. And that is the closest you have gotten to seeing cells.
Yeah.
And that is way too small for a person to fit, so there have to be doors downstairs.
Maybe. Yeah.
Or are you suggesting that they were reduced to get into the prison cells?
Maybe that's what they've done. We don't know yet. We need to look for doors, and if there are not doors, then we might need someone to make our prisoners smaller so that we can pull them up through that hole. Or if we can't get down to the lower level, it might be easier to get them up through that hole.
Well, is the hole big enough for most people to fit through?
No, it's 6 inches by 6 inches. Half a foot wide.
Okay. And that's our only way in.
Well, that's the closest you've seen to the cells. Like, to be fair, that it hasn't been verified that all those trapdoors in that long curved circular passageway are the cells. I mean, you haven't seen much else that sounds like that could be cells so far, but you are still making an assumption at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you have seen that they have some wizards or something, spellcasters of some sort. Maybe they have maybe that's how they do it, how they get prisoners into all the cells is reduce them. That would certainly be a good way of preventing them from breaking out.
True, but if that was true, they wouldn't necessarily need quite as much of a security
Okay.
that they have.
Well, if that's how they get them into the cells, how would they get them back out of the cells?
Reduce again.
Well, don't you have to touch them?
Nope.
It's not a touch spell?
Nope.
No, reduce is not.
Neither is enlarge.
Mm-hmm.
So what, you just gotta get line of sight?
Yep.
So they gotta have a way to easily see into the cells, wouldn't they, if they're doing that method?
Yeah. The
Well, you can see from
trapdoor.
The range is 5 yards a level, just so you know.
I mean, unless the prisoner is like specifically hiding in their cell, so you couldn't cast reduce on them to get them out. Like just being able to
reduce
see
lasts
them
for how
inside.
long?
5 rounds per
5
level.
rounds.
Okay, so they can't just reduce them forever and put them in tiny little like jar cells.
Yeah.
only if they were to cast permanency, but that would be pretty much pointless because the cost.
I mean, it would save on cell space.
And the cost of the
but
woods is constitution. I doubt that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No wizard would be willing to do that.
Yeah, that's why you have wizard slaves.
Yeah, that's
Well,
not
welcome
a good
to
idea.
the theocracy. You know, maybe one point we'll get into that. Ugh.
Yeah, like having wizard slaves isn't going to go wrong pretty much as soon as possible.
I mean, ask the characters, the Templars in Dragon Age, what they think.
Templars, it's a bit
All right, that's
different.
They're all
that's
tranquils.
neither
Yeah, we're
here
going
nor
off
there at
topic.
this
We're
point.
going off topic. Let's keep going.
So I mean,
it's,
like, are you guys ready to go to sleep? I mean, we're closing in on the end of the session. If you guys want to think about what spells you want to take, I mean, we could even end a few minutes early.
Yeah.
I think
It
we're
gives
nearing.
us-
As a forewarning,
Mhm.
Sleva is at 6 hours and 10 minutes spell memorization tomorrow.
Yeah, mine's
Well,
going to
I
take like
think
4 or
I think
so
we're
hours.
nearing on attempting an assault on the place.
Well, so
No,
Not
that's
yet.
not assault. That's just spells to actually be able to explore and keep going for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
want
think
to
we're
have
looking
at least one more bigger look in there.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
why I kind of want you guys to set a goal and like try to be like, this is a goal that we have to get. We have to get this information, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, because
I think we've got another
I
day
mean,
of exploring.
I you know, you guys do have time, but at the same time, like, how would your characters actually feel if you're just like kicking back, sitting around for 12 hours of waking time, doing absolutely nothing, and then spending like an hour searching and then coming back out? Like, your characters would probably get very impatient and want to do things.
I know
Never
that
would just go off and do stuff anyway.
I know that Ockar's getting pretty impatient, waiting for you guys to do all the explorer. He goes,
You can come with. In fact,
I would cause way too many problems going with.
we could reduce you. You can come with.
I guess we could try that. Though you wouldn't be able to reduce me for that long for an explorer trip. And we'll think about it.
Again, Solas has the goal that pretty much the most important part in his view that we need to explore more before it's potentially go time.
Mm.
Basically,
that
check
our
the rest
goals
of the...
differ, but
Right.
But together we might actually find a solution.
So this is also, but like, this time you guys went down with 3 people, and what did the 3 people, what were 3 people able to do that one person wasn't? You know,
Nothing.
what
Nothing.
did? Yeah. So like, what would have been? Would you have been able to get more information if you had split up? Would you have
Yes.
been able to, you know? So like, I'm asking more rhetorically. I'm not specifically looking for answers. It's just I want you guys to think about that, and then think about, like, you know, okay, so we want to get X, Y, Z. Go down, and person A goes to do X, person B goes to do Y, and person C goes to do Z, kind of thing. And be prepared to be persistent until you get that information, and then figure out, like, who is going to be best to do X, who's going to be best to do Y, and who is going to be best to do Z, and, you know, focus on that kind of thing. That's what I would like for next session, because while you do have time, I don't like you're not under a time pressure of you got to do this by X day or like he's being killed or something like that. You should be trying to get as much done every day as possible.
Yeah.
And that's like trying to balance those two things. Because, like, you could spend a half an hour every single day gaining a little bit more information, and eventually you'll get to a point. But if you can spend all day doing various things that get you the information that you want, that might be best.
Big problem is that quite a lot of the spells we need, you have so limited spell slots.
Well, you
that's
also
life.
have magic
We have
items
to
too.
live with.
Do you have scrolls that have some of those spells? Do you have?
Not really.
That's why I was asking.
I'm asking rhetorically.
Yeah.
Like, look over your potions, look over your wands and your other items and your scrolls. And again, it's not always like sometimes it may be a case of this spell isn't a perfect fit, but it will get the job done, kind of thing too. So
reduce instead of polymorph.
Yeah, like as an example, you had the plan to do polymorph, it failed, and so you went with reduce, and that did something. And again, like it could be a case where you do so much, you do X things with reduce, and then once reduce is going to expire, you do polymorph or something like that. So you follow one thing up with another that it gives you different capabilities, but it will allow you to do, get more done.
So I would say that our primary need at the moment is to work out where our prisoner is. That goes above any other concerns. Obviously, if you can't do that, do something else useful instead, but that should be the prime objective of anyone going down there.
Yeah, but
on top of that, if we have ways to isolate any of the prison when we go in, we can stop people from coming after us. Like if you've got a wall of force or something, and it doesn't stop you casting other spells or something like that, we could block off part of the prison if it's not just a circle. Yeah.
Do we have how much was it? 1,000? No, diamond in worth 1,000 gold.
So if that's not a doable thing, then maybe there's something else. Like Solas has engineering. If there's any way to sabotage any of the doors to block people in, that would slow them down. If that can be done without fuss. If it can't be
Yes,
done without fuss, we don't do it.
I have to interrupt because this is something we have to do. But first we have to know where things are. And Solas wants to know. Solas wants to look at the document to see how many how many prisoners we can actually let go. And Leva would like to find would dearly, and she will go and do it. Like to find the prisoners, and she will look around. And in fact, if the document hasn't been found, she will just start opening the prison doors, if she can, if that works.
I don't think we will be splitting the party when we are inside and the go time is on.
When it's go time, agreed.
And I doubt we have time and possibility to get to go through the documents or find the prisoners due to how little we know about the prisoner before the go time is on, and we actually can go to the office and interrogate the warden / use his language skill to read the texts.
But these decisions we can do next time.
Do you have a way to detect elves?
There might be multiple elves, and besides,
there might be multiple
he's
elves.
half-elf.
I'm asking you a question. Do you have the ability to do that? Because sometimes we have long discussion and nobody can do it.
Why would we want
just to detect elves?
Because if somebody works out that there's 3 elves being held captive, we could open, or half elves. if somebody worked out 3 half-elves being captive, we could open 3 doors. We can't open 100 doors.
Why
But
not?
if we knew,
Well,
because
basically
we
what he's
won't
saying,
have
what he's
time.
saying is that if you're in a time crunch and you have 3 possible people who are the guy, rescue all 3 of them and figure out which one it is afterwards once you've gotten them out. That's basically what he's saying, is as a possibility.
It's a possibility, yes. But I'm afraid what we're talking about now we'll have forgotten by next Saturday.
Well, that helps to make notes. If things are likely to be forgotten,
Expect
write them
much of
down.
us.
Okay, so
It's locate creature. It's a 4th level spell.
the holes that
Wizard.
the holes that Finn mentioned that people have fed through that are 6 inches across.
We don't know whether people were fed through that. That was an assumption.
It's fine. You can
Okay.
roll with that assumption. What is the
Okay.
question? What is the question?
The thing is, your eye can go through a 1-inch hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody could open those flaps, and the eye
Read it.
could go through, and we could see whether there's a half-elf in there.
It doesn't
Yeah, I
have to be
said that
opened.
about 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I did.
Okay.
So
Alright.
one thing that I do want to there's Solas, you were talking about not being able to read any of the materials or look through any of the stuff in the warden's office. You haven't been to the warden's office.
Yeah, but you said that they have their own script.
Yeah. Does no one
And,
have comprehend languages?
Leva does.
Well, you can then be the one to read the papers, but how long is the duration?
You don't
Just
have it. I
a
thought it-
second. Don't you have it as well? I mean, you are learned
Yeah.
priest of
Solas
Ockar,
not having
but-
comprehend languages seems like the biggest shock to me that I can think of.
I
That's
haven't had the time to.
I thought
think
you needed
about
it to
it.
read scrolls.
This is but you read
You need
things.
Comprehend
read
language
magic.
is not
Read
really
magic is
for
what you
reading
need for
scrolls.
Anyway,
magical scrolls.
it's 5 rounds level.
Question for all.
Comprehend languages is to read texts that you don't normally understand.
Question for all.
Yes, Braxon.
One speaking creature of the written text.
Would a haste spell allow people to read documents faster?
I would probably say yes. And Solas does have another item that would help in that regard as well if he brought it.
Yeah,
Then
it's
just
always
speed
a
reading.
thing.
So, if you could smuggle more of us and we get into the warden's office, we divide the documents up. Like if Braxon can be reduced and put in there and you can get him out somehow. We only have to read if 4 of us went in the office, we only have to read a quarter of the documents each to look for half-elves in that language. Yeah? And we go through the document, it says human, forget it. Next one, human, forget it. Yeah? And we see all the documents that refer to half-elves and we know our possibles.
But
How's that sound?
How are we going to read it?
Well, if we could make someone asleep that can read, my ring will work. I can read.
What?
Does it work on unconscious people or people that are not mentally active?
It says I have to be near someone. I don't know if it says they have to be awake. I don't think.
When
I've
you're
ever
on
tried
guard
it.
duty tonight, when someone like Solas or Leva are asleep, if they write something in a language that you can't understand, see if it works while they're
Okay.
asleep.
It works on people who are asleep. It's not they don't you're basically just you're not even borrowing. You're tapping into their basic knowledge.
Yeah.
Is
So
that
systematically
a
tablets.
learned language? So will he keep understanding it in the future?
No,
No,
it took Braxon ages to learn a language using the ring.
Well, it halved the time, but it still is All it does is, on a long-term basis, is allow you to learn a language faster.
So
let me rephrase that. If he went into the sleeping room and stood there and sort of soaked up the possibility, the ability to read the text, could he then race over to the warden's office and read the text?
It's proximity.
You got.
I asked Old.
I already know.
Okay. So that wouldn't work. So you'd either have to have somebody there,
Yeah.
or you'd have to have comprehend languages or something cast on you.
Yeah. So we can take a sleeping person there.
Now, comprehend languages is in competition with reduce and enlarge.
Basically, it would happen most likely during the go time, since we would have to have someone inside the warden's office that knows the language.
Mm-hmm.
No, we need to try and find this out before the go time. We can't be in a position where if we can't find a document, we have to go through hundreds of cells. If we're going in for another expedition, we have to be focusing on the location of this half-elf. So we're either going to be sending that eye through the holes to look for people with pointy ears, or we're going to be going through documents. If we're going to go through documents and we've got limited time, then we want to get as many people that can read documents in that room at the same time as possible.
But I don't see how we can do that safely.
We can do it while they're asleep.
Specifically know when the warden's office is empty.
Well, won't the warden be asleep?
I doubt he sleeps in the office.
No, but he'll be asleep at some point.
Yeah,
there won't be any easy access to that.
You would have to access the room sneakily and go through the documents sneakily and put everything back into its places. And then also if you had wanted to use the ring, you would also have to have one of the sleeping persons there nearby, and again sneakily.
Yeah.
I think that's if not impossible, almost impossible.
It's a challenge, but it's what we
I
need
love
to
your
try
confidence,
and do.
Solas.
It's what we need to try and do. If you don't think we can get a sleeping person in there, you can use your comprehend languages spells. Do they work on other people?
Yeah, it's touch.
Right.
Oh.
Well,
And as I said, it's in competition with enlarge and reduce.
Mm-hmm.
So and don't just please don't just say, oh, you can use this and that and something else, because it's still the spellcaster's choice whether they're going to choose a spell or not.
Yeah. What you do is what spells you take is up to you.
Right, but
I'm just saying that seems
here,
to be the method.
I think what Braxon is trying to convey is that if you don't know who the prisoner is that you need to get out, then you're looking at having to go through every single prisoner, like person by person, or freeing them all. And either of those situations, you're looking at, the only real safe way to do that is to wipe out the entire garrison there.
That's something we haven't thought about, Solas. I'm sorry, this is a bit tangent, but if we go into the ventilation shafts, what if we cast Etherealness from there and go straight down?
Well, you go straight down.
Yeah, to the level below.
Yes.
Oh.
And we explore.
Possibly.
Are there spells that can locate a specific person?
Yeah, but you
most of us
usually
don't
have
know.
to, and you have to have to know who they are. You can't just locate someone that you don't actually know.
Yeah.
Didn't Finn learn that spell from Leva, from the book? Locate
Psychic
person.
That's
impressions.
tracking.
Or
That was
locate
tracking.
object.
That was like
Yes,
tracking or
okay.
something.
That worked as well if we had anything, if we had something that belonged to that person.
Yeah, but he's been in prison for 20 years.
Yeah, only things that we currently know about the target is that he's half-elven. We've been told his name and that he's somewhere in this prison.
Yeah, so we're looking for a record with his name written on.
Yeah, which is why we will most likely have to interrogate the warden while we are going through the records.
And if we can't find the records, we're pretty much just gonna have to go for an all-out assault.
Well, I would think the records are in the warden's office.
Right,
Solas?
but what
Mhm.
the thing is, like, I mean, if you're interrogating the warden, like, you're either doing very, very sneaky stuff, like having everyone be in his office, invisible. He comes in, you close and like wizard lock the door or something, and then
Beat him
like
up.
warding the room so people outside can't hear it, and then beating him up, and then somehow making it so that he can't get out, like either killing him or tying him up and keeping him there, and like, so again, you're already in a position where you're looking at a long term, like a lot of time involved and potential
Magic
noise
involved.
and stuff like that.
And it's
I would-
basically the go time since we aren't returning to the camp.
Yes.
I think instead of interrogating the warden, our best bet would be to search his office when he's not in there and look for whatever documents you need.
Problem
But
is,
the
again,
wizards are saying that they don't want to take the spells to do that because of other spells that they want to take.
But you might have to.
Yeah, but I don't have access to comprehend language at the moment, and nor do I have access to reduce that Leva needs for us to get everyone down.
Do we need everyone down?
Well, when it's the go time, yes.
But then
I
again,
think-
like, if it's not go time, that's
Yeah, but
if it's not go time yet, we just need a couple
the
of you
thing
down.
is that searching the office, I doubt we can make it look. I think
Well, we
the
can have-
warden will notice it once, since unless Lafdul is the only one that does it.
Who is the fastest reader? Is there a difference, or does everybody read the same speed?
everyone reads the same speed unless there's some magic.
Yeah,
altering that.
Solas's lens of speed reading's the only way that any of us can read faster.
Mm.
Generally,
You have
and
a lens
haste,
of speed reading?
I did say that
Yes.
haste would allow you to double your speed.
Yeah.
So with the lens and with haste, he could read even faster?
No, because those are not
probably a
cumulative.
limit.
Yeah, those are not cumulative.
What a pity.
Yeah, the lens is already triples the speed.
Okay. So would you use the lens?
Yeah, I have them with me.
Okay. So if Leva casts one comprehend languages on you, then you could really go through a lot of information in the time
Mhm.
that you have, which is not actually that much with 5 rounds level.
Actually, would your researcher proficiency help speed through your stuff to know what to look for?
I
That
do
might.
think it. Yeah. It usually does speed up the research, going through research materials.
But you do realize that the ability to read does not necessarily impart understanding of the material, nor does the spell enable the caster to speak or write an unknown language. So it's only if you read the text.
It's like mathematic equations or something.
Oh.
I think that's what it's trying to
And-
compare.
And it says quite clearly, written material can be read at the rate of 1 page or equivalent per round. So the 5 rounds per level is what?
Well, but the lens of speed reading would speed that up.
Okay.
So 3 pages around.
Mm-hmm. So you'd need to be really fast. You'd need to get the pod document correctly, and
That's
Yeah, but
fine.
it's
Well,
reading
I think-
spines on books or indexes. Just one
I think
book,
research
one index.
proficiency is something that is specifically suitable for this.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the
I-
ideal situation, you probably would be the fastest if you are in the room.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So haste would not help you at all. You use the lens
Yeah.
because I think haste is not as fast as the lens.
Haste was only twice. These
Yeah.
lenses are 3 times.
Yeah, haste would be good if you had
Mhm.
multiple people in there searching.
Yeah.
Well,
It's going to be what you have to do.
Leva is not going to give up any of the reduces, so that's. But she may give up one enlarge, which
Okay.
would give.
You don't
You
have
can
to
always
take.
dispel your own magic. It doesn't have to be the opposing reverse.
What?
In other words, you can use a third level slot to get rid of a first level spell.
You
I have
could
no
use
idea what you're
dispel.
talking about.
You can dispel your own reduce.
I'm not talking about enlarging myself. That has nothing
No,
to do
but
with
you
me.
could no, but you could use one dispel magic to basically dispel every reduce spell you've cast if everyone is in the area.
And why would I want to do that?
Why were you taking the enlarge?
In case I run over a prisoner who might be reduced, and maybe we can do something immediately and enlarge him.
Yeah, but you can just
Nothing to
dispel
do.
it.
Nothing to do. The Leva doesn't want to enlarge herself. Why would she? She wants to reduce herself. She wants to get through all the events.
Okay, well, if there's not enough spells for Braxon or Ockar to come, then Braxon will lend his ring to someone.
Well, the question. Everybody reads the same. How many lenses do we have?
The one. This
The
rare
one.
and unique item.
That was
Hey.
that was a magic item that Solas started with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Even if you don't have haste, it still means that Solas would have someone else reading some other documents, which would be faster than Solas alone.
Leva does have haste. Haste is not in competition with anything much. So she can use haste on somebody else. So who would
Yeah.
be the best other person to do this?
Well, Braxon does have the ring.
Yeah. Either I can do that if you can get me in and out, or someone
But
else can take my ring. It doesn't matter either way to me.
The thing is that, or as a question to Old,
Mm-hmm.
the ring won't help to understand, will it?
So the understanding element is that, like, if you picked up a book about, as Lafdul said, mathematics, or a scientific field that knew nothing about, like the manufacture of microchips. This is all rhetorical. It's using like big scientific words. You don't know them. Like it doesn't allow you to understand what those words mean. It's not a dictionary, but you can read them. But you would you would perfectly understand a note or a letter that says, "Hey, honey, I'm coming home late. Can you get dinner started?" Like that's perfectly understandable. But if you don't know what deoxyribonucleic acid is, it doesn't tell you what deoxyribonucleic acid is. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that's
are
what it means when it says that it doesn't convey understanding.
We are essentially looking for a document that says this person is in this cell and this person is in this cell. I don't think they're going to
manifest.
code it. Yeah, I don't think they're going to code it because it's going to be locked inside a secure room inside a prison.
And it's most likely something that they will have to use occasionally to write out that a prisoner has died or that new prisoner has arrived.
They were
And
dealing
another
with a
question
corpse.
to Old.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that something like this would be in a coded or something where only read magic would be able to read it?
Well, if it were if read magic were necessary, then comprehend languages wouldn't be necessary because read magic does like that's not, you're not dealing with a language then. You're dealing with magic script. But it would take a wizard to write it, so the warden would have to be a wizard, which is entirely possible.
So it might be an advantage if us wizards would actually take one or two read magic as well.
Possibly.
It couldn't hurt if you've got the spare slots.
She doesn't anymore.
I mean, but at the same time,
But
like
we could split. I mean, there's nothing. Solas, would you be prepared to take a few read magics? Do you have
Yeah, I
something?
can
Do you have
take-
competition to that in your level 1 spells?
Not much, only if it's spells that deal with the guards.
So at the same time, like if you have achieved some of your goals, and what's preventing you from achieving the entire goal is that oh, we don't like we needed to read magic, we took comprehend languages, or we took comprehend languages, like we need the different spell. If you've gotten to the place where you know the information is, and then then you could plan for the next day being like an in and out, just get in, read the stuff with the proper spell, and get out. Like,
Okay.
you've achieved your goals to a certain degree, and you've just hit a hurdle that you can't overcome right then. Like,
Okay.
But it focuses your goal. Like, that's the kind of thing that you should be focusing on. Take the spells that you think are going to be most likely to work, and if you want to take some extra spells that are like just in case, yeah, go for it if you can. If you want to take a read magic just in case, or in case you encounter other things, sure, go for it.
Well, it would be an advantage if you had comprehend languages, because with the divination enhancement, read magic could be made to last longer, whereas comprehend languages doesn't belong in the same category.
Right, that's alteration.
Yeah. But
So
it's not to be. That's woulda, coulda, whatever.
right, but so that's the thing is like take the things that you think are the most likely. I mean, if you have limited capability, you can't take everything. I mean, if you can take a read magic and a comprehend languages, and you're fine with the durations and stuff on that, sure, go for it. But if you can't take everything, take what you think is most likely to be the appropriate spell, and if you're wrong, well, then you can circle back later, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. More or less decided.
Okay. All right.
There's one. Who has telepathy, if I may ask?
Eh.
Is there a reason for that you're asking for that?
Yes, because
I
if we
might
split up, then we may want to be able to still communicate.
All right.
I think I had a potion of ESP at some point. I'm not sure if I still have that.
I've got telepathy.
Well, I would definitely recommend looking through your items and seeing if there's anything either that it's like, oh, hey, I forgot I had this. This is perfect for this situation, or hey, this is not a perfect item, but if we use it in this way, it'll get the job done.
Yep.
What you're saying is I use a potion of fire, dragon breath, in the prisoners while they're all sleeping.
I mean, that would certainly get some stuff complete.
A question.
Well,
Somebody mentioned being able to be ethereal.
Yeah.
If someone was ethereal
Yeah.
was able to walk through walls into the cells, would they be able to see the person in the cell at all?
You can see things since you're only on the border ethereal. You can see things on the prime material plane. Yes.
So, if this thing about reading everything turns out to take too long, if someone turned another person ethereal, would they be able to run through lots of cells really quickly and look for half-elves?
Probably
at
wouldn't
least
be able to run, and like I mean, if someone's asleep, they've got a blanket over them or something like that. I mean,
yeah.
you'd probably have to get into a cell, study it for a round, get into the next cell, study it for a round. So you'd probably be
Right.
limited to the number of like one cell per round kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And the etherealness doesn't last that long.
Okay, so it's suboptimal, but we could possibly use that to confirm the location of our target.
You could possibly get few cells.
If you suspected that he was in like 5 different cells,
Yeah.
then maybe you could do the running thing, run between them.
Yeah. What sort of slot does that spell take? Does it conflict with the other ones that you
It
need?
takes 3rd level cleric slot, and I have a limited number of those.
Well, I would
Yeah.
let you guys. I would say think about that during the week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it is we are over time and it is time to wrap up. So let's go ahead and do some XP. That is going to be.
It wouldn't surprise me if they had a ethereal barrier made permanent somewhere. I mean, they had
But
permanent heat metal.
if they had
so-
something like that, would they have it everywhere inside? Would they just have it
No, it'd be
outside?
strategically placed somewhere.
Yeah. So, like again, an ethereal spell could be useful. It might not get you specifically, in certain places. Like it may not be able to get you in and out of the whole complex, but it might allow you to move around within the complex. That's something to consider.
Yeah, that'd be really good for spying.
And you won't know until you try it.
Or even an astral awareness, you can see things that we may not have noticed.
All right, so that is going to be. Okay, that is going to be 1,000 XP for Braxon and Ockar. 1,000 XP for Lafdul, plus 550 for your priest.
We XP just for being here.
You had some ideas and stuff like that, and yeah, I mean, you being here is the most important thing.
550 for my priest. Sorry.
550 for your priest, yes.
Did I get anything for hiding his shadows, or did I fail that
You
roll?
failed that. You failed that really badly.
Oh.
But they weren't. I rolled to see if they were coming in that.
What did
direction.
I roll?
98.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Oh.
It was
But they
really
didn't
bad.
see. But they didn't look at him.
But like I said,
There is...
there was like a 30% chance that they were going to be coming in your direction, and they weren't coming in your direction, so they didn't see you.
Lafdul just straight up sitting on the rock.
So
Yeah.
nice and lucky. Lucky.
He's sitting
There's
on
a
the rock with 2 branches over his face. Yeah,
There
see
is
me?
always an inherent 5% chance to fail, so...
Yeah. Leva, 1,200 XP. And Solas, 1,000 XP, plus 500 for your wizard, and 50 for your priest.
So 5,000 combined for both classes, and for a wizard it was
500 extra, and 50 for your priest.
Hey.
I'm liking those numbers.
Out of interest, all the air vent with the shed,
Yep.
and the other thing where the fires vent out, are they close together at all?
They're close-ish together. Not the chimney is lower down, though.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
it's at a lower point on the.
It takes
Right.
about an hour to get from one to other on the outside.
Yeah. 'Cause I
And
know
that's
some of the
mainly
others-
because you have to like climb around a whole lot of stuff and climb
Yeah.
down and stuff.
Okay, because I know the others were talking about potentially blocking the chimneys. I was wondering about collecting rocks if Braxon isn't going down next week. Might get more
That-
than 1,000 XP if he collects rocks.
That was more for the plan if we plan to assault the place
Fair enough.
from the front
Yeah,
door.
Just for the record, Braxon would rather we don't kill any prison guards because the guy we're breaking out has to broker peace between this nation and the other nation. And if this is like 500 people got murdered, he becomes a terrorist.
I mean, he is going to be leading a revolt against the current empress.
I know.
And if they
So
are
there is
xenophobic...
going to be civil war.
Yeah,
And
but he's just saying if it's possible.
If it's possible, we don't kill anyone, is what I'm saying.
Look, we can try not to kill anyone, but I think we're gonna have to get into an all-out brawl here eventually.
Yeah, well, I already said Braxon wants to knock people out. That's why he's brought Age's Burden, because it will weaken everyone. So, like, as soon as he's weak.
Solas isn't going to be pulling his punches when the fight starts.
I mean, I don't plan to pull my punches either.
Cranial structural integrity.
I mean, knowing what we know about this place, I probably am not going to pull my punches either.
I mean, I will say this: if you can get this guy out without anyone being the wiser on how it was done and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, after the fact, they may discover some of the things that you did. But if you get him out and literally their only knowledge that anything has happened is, like, the cell is empty.
Yeah.
You will get extra XP for that, just so you know.
I've got to say, Lafdul's done his Dissension's Feast before. If he could do something like that, or if someone else could do something, or we could put loads of people to sleep, yeah, or do something like that and just get this guy out without killing anyone, that would be my preferred option. And we can still do the tentacles on the exit, so they can't chase us.
Well, the better information we have, the more information we have, the better it is, and the better we are able to do something like that, to pull it off. The less information we have, the more surprises will happen. They happen anyway, but
Well,
it's better if we're prepared.
Let's see how much reading we can do next week.
All right. So when we come back next week, we will see what you're able to discover within the prison. So I want to thank you guys for playing. I want to thank everyone out there for watching. I really do appreciate it. And we will be back next week. See you then, everyone.
Thanks for
the game, and thanks for the new viewers.
Thanks for having us. I shall mark off my food ration. I totally forgot about.
See you next time, everyone.